What's up, Girth Gang? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm on NBA 2K22 and I'm going to intentionally be the worst GM I can be. When it came to choosing a franchise that I should destroy, I had a couple of solid options. I wanted the lowest level of patience I could find and 5 stars for things such as importance of team success and importance of team image, because that is not going to be something I'm going to focus on. So I ended up choosing the Lakers. Russell Westbrook is already doing a great job at destroying this franchise, but I'm going to try to do even worse, if that's possible. I chose to start in the off season of 2021, and my first decision as being the new GM is I'm going to fire everybody in the house. I also fired everybody bluntly. This way team morale took a negative effect after every single firing. But if I don't hire a head coach, the game will automatically do it for me. So I found the least qualified candidate, who happened to be Cody Maxwell. He's trying to be an assistant GM. He has F's and D's across the board, and I have an available budget of $11.52 million salary, so I decided to give him all of that. For reference, that would make him the 4th highest paid player on the payroll, in between Anthony Davis and Talen Horton-Tucker. When it came to the draft, we had the 22nd pick. I had a bunch of good options still available, such as Chris Duarte, we got James Bouknight, Moses Moody, but instead I found the guy who was ranked 150th, the worst player in his class. He's a 6'8" rebounder with 0 badges, and he also has another year in Europe before he can play in the NBA. I'm surprised I'm not fired already, but still Zach Harper found a way to give me a compliment for doing this. And 2K wasn't lying, he is the worst player who was drafted. He is a 65 overall. In free agency, I decided to let Talen Horton-Tucker go. The only guy I was interested in signing is Enes Kanter or Enes Freedom, just to piss off LeBron, maybe mess up the team chemistry. Although we weren't able to come to an agreement because I didn't have enough cap space to sign him. And while we're at it, I'm just going to trade LeBron. I thought the worst trade out of the 4 I was offered was Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. I thought they were both injured, and if they aren't, they're still injury prone, so that's going to be fun to have. In destroying the Lakers franchise is no small task. I had to come to the king himself, Russell Westbrook. I traded Anthony Davis and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for Russell Westbrook and Rui Hachimura. I also traded Kyle Kuzma because I don't want any potential on my team. I traded him for a Raptors first round pick and Yuta Watanabe just based off of this highlight alone. But then I found out I could take Yuta Watanabe and get an even worse player in Chandler Hutchison at a 71 overall. And who needs a first round draft pick when you can have Bol Bol? And now that nobody else can be traded for another 60 days, it's time to make some big free agent signings. And when I say big, I mean that in the literal sense. I signed Taco Fall, Boban Marjanovic, and I just bent over and took one for the team. I signed Enes Kanter to a 3-year deal for $55.5 million. And it turned out that Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray aren't injured, so I accidentally put together a kind of decent team, but I have a fix for that. I'm just going to make all 3 of my star players come off the bench. I'm going to force them all to be a non-starter. This is what the CPU came up with for my starting 5. It's pretty bad. Dante Exum is at the point guard. If he turned out to be the player that 2K15 storyline thought he was going to be, we'd be in good shape.
Hey, keep your head up, man.
My head isn't down.
Well, it should be.
But he isn't that great of a player, so I decided to fix the lineup myself. We're going to be a very huge team. We got Taco Fall at the center, Boban at the power forward, Bol Bol at the small forward, and Enes Kanter at the shooting guard, with Rui Hachimura running the point guard, who I believe is a power forward. I'm also going to make the big men play over 40 minutes a night, so good luck to their knees. And after simulating a few games, inevitably my big men were injured. I mean, they're 7 feet plus and playing 40 minutes a night. But I took on an AB Buccaneer style of approach. I'm going to force them to play through every injury they have. It came to my attention that our highest overall player, Michael Porter Jr., was not happy with the minutes he was receiving, so I decided to assign him to the South Bay Lakers, where he should find all the playing time he could ever ask for. And just checking out some of our stats, we got a pretty even stat line across the board. Rui Hachimura is my leading scorer, and Enes Kanter is averaging a double-double along with Boban. But then I noticed that we've still been practicing and proving our talents, which I'm gonna have none of that. I cleared our practice schedule for the next month and as long as I possibly could. We are now 60 days into the season, so that means I can trade everybody once again. The Celtics offered me Al Horford and Marcus Smart for Russell Westbrook. I had to switch up this trade a little bit because Marcus Smart is too good of a defensive player. I like the fact that Al Horford is old, so there's nothing wrong with that. But I opted to take on Tristan Thompson. I think it would do wonders for his relationship with Chloe. The Nets offered me a steal. They wanted Jamal Murray for Joe Harris and DeAndre Jordan. I thought this trade was a little bit uneven, so I decided to give them all of my future picks that I was able to give them. I still haven't been fired, so I decided it's time to go nuclear. We should piss off the fans. I took every pricing financing option they gave me and turned it up to the max price. Yet I still have my job. I guess the people in LA are kind of wealthy, so I decided to move the franchise to a new location, the worst one I could find, Anchorage, Alaska. I might have accidentally done Tristan Thompson and Chloe a solid here. The only thing Tristan's gonna be able to cheat with on her is a wild moose. But now it's time to do some rebranding, starting with the Lakers logo. It's a bit outdated. We need something new. I found this image of a Walmart uniform and I'm just in love with it. I don't think there's any image out there that suits our franchise better than this. We still have the same arena and court, so I'm gonna have to make some drastic changes to all this. We're also still going by the Staples Center, so I had to fix that. Everybody knows it's Crypto.com Arena, but I also added a little bit of flair to it with a When it came to the scoreboard images, I wanted it to be something that can advertise to the locals in this area. I went with Marlboro cigarettes, got some Budweiser beer, the Walmart logo, which actually makes sense in this case. You got Monster energy drinks, and then just a picture of Rachel Nichols. I don't think I need to explain that one any further. And last but not least, a picture of a famous actor. You may not know who this guy is, but Alaska sure does. And the last change that I had to make to this arena is fixing up the floor a bit. I decided to make the entire floor brown, even the lines, so you can't even really see where the 3-point line is. We got our Walmart Fest logo and it says Hasbulla Arena on the court. So yeah, that's what we got going on over here. I also had to make some new jerseys for this new franchise. When it came to the home uniform, it just looks like a Walmart uniform, but on the back you have 2 first names on there. Just thought that was a nice touch. The away jersey is again just a Walmart vest with a touch of brown in the background. And my personal favorite, the alternate uniform, is just the state flag of Iowa, which has nothing to do with anything going on. And then in my empty spaces, I don't know if you can tell, but that is Hasbulla posing for a haircut. I have committed a handful of war crimes, I'm pretty sure, but I still have my job. I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I didn't have a setting in there that allows me to be fired, but I have just ruined this franchise within a couple of hours. I decided to free my boy Michael Porter Jr. I traded him to the Thunder, and all I was looking for is a couple of guys' names that I can't pronounce. I'm not even going to attempt it. I know the first guy's like Alexej Polsetsky, but the second one, I'm gonna have a stroke if I try to read that. And then if this isn't enough to get me fired, I don't know how this doesn't seal the deal. I met with my boss at a restaurant just to foolishly mock him. I told him, "You're no Tex Thomas and you never will be, you silly hatless man. You best be getting out now, partner." And from here we went on about a 20-game losing streak, but we were able to beat this one team twice, the Portland Trailblazers. Damian Lillard, get the hell out of there, they're dog shit. And Enes Kanter was really starting to get on my nerves. He kept coming to me to complain about God knows what. I was giving him 45 minutes a night. I don't know what he was complaining about. It also didn't help. He kept going on CNN and talking shit on me. So I decided to trade him for the only man that can save this franchise, Kyle Kuzma. I decided to start him at the point and make everybody in my starting 5 be 7 feet and up besides Kyle, and everyone will be playing 48 minutes per night unless they are injured and not able to play, but I will be the judge of that. From here we lost every single game except one game against the 76ers. Russell Westbrook actually won the 6th Man of the Year with the Boston Celtics, which is my doing. The Grizzlies won the championship over the Nets in 7. I don't know how I'm not fired yet. I thought he was going to fire me at the end of the season. Boban retired at the age of 33. He wasn't even planning on retiring. I'm guessing he just got depressed and thought it would be more fun to pursue acting than basketball. But on the bright side, the draft pick I chose last year, Patrick Gray, is now eligible to play in the NBA, and he's been grinding all year. He's went up from a 65 overall to a 66 overall, and we're going to decline him. He can go play in Europe. I don't care about him. I did have a very busy free agency. I was looking for a solid big man. We don't have enough of those. And Andre Drummond, I had to let him go last year, but I'm not going to let him slip through my fingers again. He was asking for 3 years and $78 million. I told him, that is foolish. Let me give you $105 million over 3 years, the max contract I could give him. And there's only one man that can do the job, that can get me fired, can say something inappropriate on a stream and hopefully get me canceled in the process. Myers Anti-Semitic Leonard. And again, I just went ballistic. I let everybody go. I only wanted 40 overall centers, but I do have a promising 42 and 41 overall on the team. Here's what the starting 5 looked like for this year. And to no surprise, we had a record-breaking record-breaking season. We did not win a single game all year. We went 0-82. But on the bright side, Andre Drummond is putting up career numbers. He is averaging 19 and 19. Myers Leonard, on the other hand, is barely averaging more points than a 40 overall center. I did hop into our last home game just to give you a glimpse of what's been going on in Anchorage, Alaska. Our fan turnout isn't bad. It's looking like a WNBA All-Star game. It took a lot of hard work and editing, but I present to you the highlights from this game from the Anchorage Lakers. That's it. We're so bad that Nikola Jokic was looking like a prime Kareem or Wilt. Our leading scorers are, of course, tied for 2 points, but we did have A. Harden, living up to the Harden name, shooting 0 for 15. Good work out there. As a team, we shot 6%. Again, we had a record-breaking season in point differential, which was negative 5,778 points. And divided by 82, that is losing by 70 points per game on average. But not a total loss. Andre Drummond, his career is being revived. He was named to the All-Defensive First Team and All-NBA Third Team. But I think my time here is done. I don't think it can get any worse than this. So I went to my boss and I had the option to rage quit. So we're gonna do that, of course. Even my rage quit wasn't even that good. He even gave me a second chance because he didn't believe me, but I said yes. And he said, then why don't you get out of my face and let me run this organization? Security will see you out. So I think my work here is done. Russell Westbrook, good luck at topping that. I see you though, put in a lot of work at destroying the Lakers. That's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I want to give a big thank you to this guy from my Discord that gave me this idea. I think his name is something like Veryaisi. Feel free to join my Discord by following one of the links in the description. It's full of degenerates, but it's a great way of meeting you guys and talking to you because my Instagram DMs are completely full of big booty women just trying to get with me. Like Jadeon said, if she's not 280, she's not a real lady. Russell Westbrook, if you're out there listening, just a friendly word of advice. When you have the basketball, it's supposed to go in that little orange thing up there. And the Bengals in one. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.